Most Australians now have access to euthanasia if they're diagnosed with a terminal illness, but for a small number, like Marion, who we can't legally identify, there's a legal quirk taking the choice out of their hands. She describes it as
extremely harrowing, emotionally distressing, and left me feeling very angry, which has resulted in me suffering anxiety attacks, for which I'm now under medication.
The problem is voluntary assisted dying is normally limited to residents who've lived in a state for at least 12 months. Marion lived in WA most of her life but retired to Tasmania about a decade ago. Last year, on a holiday in the West, she discovered she had terminal lung cancer.
If I had been diagnosed with my illness whilst I was in Tasmania, I might have been able to access voluntary assisted dying in Tasmania.
But she was too ill to return and hadn't been in WA long enough. Despite seeking a review in the State Administrative Tribunal, the answer was the same: wait until a year after her diagnosis to qualify as a resident.
It was the correct decision, but according to the legal requirements, but that legal requirement, I think, is no longer fit for purpose.
Early adopters like Victoria and WA introduced the requirement to stop people travelling to their states for euthanasia when it was illegal elsewhere. But with VAD now available in every state and soon the territories, there are calls to scrap it.
The practical concerns about fiscal implications for the healthcare the healthcare system, they just don't exist anymore.
My life should not be in the hands of legislators, as this decision should be entirely mine.
It's a change supported by some of the most vocal opponents to voluntary assisted dying, the Australian Christian lobby.
Well, that restriction really serves no purpose anymore, so there's no point in maintaining it, so we certainly wouldn't have any objection to that being removed.
The ABC asked each state government about removing the requirement. Only the WA and Queensland health ministers said they were open to the idea. South Australia, New South Wales and Victoria said their laws would be examined in scheduled reviews, while Tasmania said it had no plans for any changes. Marion wants every state to rethink its laws.
This will then give us the legal right to choose a dignified way to end our life with the least amount of pain and trauma.
The goal of euthanasia, Marion hopes, will be a reality for others like her into the future. Kean Burke, ABC News.